Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! I thought stores would be closed off or working much shorter hours during the holidays. Once I got to the store, I saw that I was, sadly for the people working there, mostly wrong. But that meant I would not need to buy much as I initially thought. I brought with me 3 reusable shopping bags but ended up needing just one. While I can't say I have an emotional attachment to these bags, I do like them very much. I bought them because I love the design, color and print on them, and gave a bit more money than one would buying reusable shopping bags in a grocery store. They are nice, practical, and I like them. I finished loading my stuff onto the conveyor belt at the cash register and put the separator so that the person behind me does not waste time but start uploading their haul. Last, I put my 3 bags on top of my stuff because I had them in a shopping cart while I was picking stuff up. While I'm fishing out my wallet from my purse, I catch a flash or color in my periphery. I look up and see the woman behind me reach over and take 2 of my bags. Confused, I stutter, "Excuse me, those are not store bags. Those are my own property. Please give them back to me." And the entitled woman answers, "I know these are not the store ones. I'm not an idiot. The store has red bags with their logo on them." "Then why are you taking my property?" "You don't need them all. Your groceries will fit nicely into just that one. I need these. Mind your own business and stop making a scene." Now I'm confused and getting irritated. I am making a scene for confronting her politely about taking my stuff? But before I could even react, the older gentleman who was a customer before me in the line and just finished paying his bill as well as the cashier round on this woman. The cashier says, "You will give her back her property or I will have the security escort you out." The customer before me says, "How dare you behave as you are the one being inconvenienced? You take this girl's property and tell her she does not need it and should not resist you. If you need reusable bags, just buy them for yourself." The entitled woman starts huffing and puffing. "Now wait just a minute. Why are you all making such a scene?" Cashier all but yells, "Now, I am not negotiating or listening to you. Taking the property of others is stealing, no matter how you try to reason it." The cashier then picks up her mic and calls security to the register and looks at the entitled woman sternly. What will it be? The entitled woman insists that she's just taken them because I don't need them and that it's not stealing. Once the security comes and tries to escort her out after the cashier tells him the situation, the entitled woman starts resisting and comes at me and tries to slap me. The security immediately catches her right before she touches me and asks the cashier to call the cops. After the cops arrive and everything is said and done, I end up pressing charges against this lady for trying to assault me. It never crossed my mind that this is how my holidays would start, but I thank the cashier, the security guy and the old man and go on my merry way. I did not do much but stand my ground, but the cashier and the old man were the MVPs. It warmed my heart that people saw something nasty and immediately jumped in to correct the foul behavior. Happy holidays, everyone! I'm physically disabled. My main 4 conditions are Marfan syndrome, scoliosis, somewhat corrected surgically, but I cannot bend over anymore. The third one is arthritis in my legs. Yes, people in their 20s can get arthritis, and whilst it isn't super bad anymore, then down my road and back is painful. The fourth condition is PTSD from a school life where I almost got killed for being disabled. Because of this cocktail of pain, I'm unable to ride a normal bicycle. Instead, must rely on a mobility scooter. I'm experimenting with a custom e-bike I coupled together but not confident 100% with it yet. I love my scooter. I call her Rosie due to her red paint. Sure, she isn't a standard mobility scooter, Essentially, being an electric mop someone slapped 2 extra wheels on. Whilst she is as maneuverable as a sledgehammer, she can take me a good 50 miles per charge, plus I can get to work on it without any issue, and in about 10 to 20 minutes depending on traffic. So on to the incident. I was on my way home and took a route through the local common as per usual. Class 3 invalid carriages can go on both walkways and roads. I slid onto one of the main paths when I saw a cyclist ahead of me. He was just cresting the hill and was on my side of the pass. I'd hazard a guess and say there must have been at most 18 to 20 meters space between us. Now me on a slow scooter, I saw no one was right behind me, not even a walker, so I decided to stop to let him go around me. I got nervous as he closed the gap going top speed, but not slowing down before he slammed on the brakes. Tumbler brakes I assumed from the long stop distance. I did the universal polite driver gesture for "go on bud, go around." Then the first thing out of his mouth was, "Get out of my way or I will knock you off your scooter." Not being a moron, I whipped out my phone, stuck in my earbuds, they have a better quality mic, and hit record. He goes on to comment, "Oh, you're recording now?" And I inform him that yes, because he has made a physical threat. Now, I will admit I was being a bit of a jerk during our recorded interaction, but I show zero respect to people that think they can use intimidation to get over me. We argued for about 5 minutes going over things like the condition of the bass and how little I actually cared about his tires. He claimed to have had really expensive tires and was worried that going over racks would burst his tires, which I do not understand. Aren't the more pricey tires more durable? But that also brings up if he's concerned that normal usage of his bike's tires will burst them. Why is he cycling? Did I swear at him? Yes. And his response? Two on-camera threatened to attack me if I swore at him again. Swearing is not illegal, but threatening someone is. It then goes to a roughly 10-minute standoff of him thinking he can bore me out of the way. To which I pulled my fully charged Steam Deck from my bag and began to play Fallout 3. I put my Steam Deck away after I saw him on the phone with the police and shouted from my position from my scooter, "How about you inform them about the fact that you threatened me?" This of course annoyed him. We argued some more and I called him an ableist jerk, to which he then goes up to me and tries to shove me off my scooter and steals my phone. I got up and shouted for him to give me back my phone, to which he said, "Wait, you can walk?" And my response was, "Of course I can walk. I'm on a scooter, not a wheelchair." My blood was running hot and I was just about ready to tackle this guy and show him why it's a bad idea to wear glasses around someone who knows how to give a good headbutt. A stranger then approached as I saw that fat cyclist jerk stopping the recording and trying to delete the recording. Fortunately, I have been able to recover the footage because he's a technologically illiterate jerk. My memory is a bit scarce. From there, my blood was running high and trying to keep my head clear. I'm fairly sure I shoved that jerk off his bike, got my phone back, and shouted something at him as he cycled off. The last thing I remember of the incident was that jerk up in my face screaming, so he must have turned around. This is where the stranger gets involved the second time, shoving him back and yelling at him to get lost. Update. Yes, I have gone to the police about this. Yes, I'm pressing charges. And yes, they have identified him after an appeal to the public. Thank you, Southampton Police. I was a student at a prestigious high school, and I was determined to succeed in my studies. I was somehow a bright student and I worked hard to achieve my goals. I had a difficult time in one of my classes because of my teacher Karen. My teacher Karen was a strict and demanding woman who believed that she was superior to her students. She had been teaching at our high school for many years and had a reputation for being a perfectionist. Karen expected us to treat her with the utmost respect at all times and would get angry if we didn't meet her expectations. I had always found Karen's expectations to be unrealistic and her behaviors to be unreasonable and volatile. She had a tendency to hold grudges and would often single out certain students for punishment or criticism. Karen was known for having outbursts of anger and lashing out at her students if they didn't meet her high standards. Despite her flaws, Karen was a skilled teacher and was well respected in the community. Many of her former students had gone on to succeed in their studies and careers, and Karen took pride in their achievements. However, her sense of entitlement and her lack of empathy for her students had caused her to become increasingly isolated and disliked by her colleagues and her students. I had always tried to avoid Karen and stay out of her way. But one day she caught me talking to a group of my classmates during class. She immediately reprimanded me and demanded that I stand in front of the class as punishment. "Maria, what do you think you're doing?" Karen said, her voice dripping with contempt. "You know that talking during class is not allowed. Stand up and face the class as punishment." I stood up, feeling humiliated and embarrassed. "I'm sorry, Miss Karen," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I was just talking to my classmates about our homework. It won't happen again." "It had better not happen again," Karen said, scowling at me. "I expect complete silence and focus on my class. Is that understood?" "Fine," I said with a slight sigh, my heart pounding in my chest. "Fine? Did you just say fine? Did you just sigh and say fine to me?" Clearly, Karen felt disrespected by this and decided to take things further, and she began yelling at me and berating me in front of the entire class. "How dare you disrespect me like this, Maria?" Karen shouted, her face red with anger. "I am your teacher, and you will show me the respect that I deserve. Do you understand?" "I am sorry, Miss Karen," I said, tears welling in my eyes. "I didn't mean to disrespect you. I was just talking to my classmates about our homework." "I don't want to hear your excuses, Maria," Karen said, while her voice dripping with disdain. "You are a disrespectful and insolent student, and you will be punished accordingly." As the confrontation escalated, Karen lost control and ended up physically attacking me. She grabbed me by the hair and began hitting me repeatedly. The other students in the class were shocked and terrified by Karen's behavior, and they quickly called for help. My parents were called in by the principal and were shocked and horrified by what had happened. Also, one more thing you should know about my mother. My mother was a strong and influential woman in our community. She had always been fiercely protective of me and my siblings. She was not afraid to speak her mind or stand up for what she believed in. However, my mother also had a bit of a temper and could be quick to anger when she felt that we were being wronged or mistreated. The principal invited Karen to his office to discuss the incident, and my mother accompanied me. Karen was unrepentant and seemed to think that she had done nothing wrong. She insisted that she had been provoked by my disrespectful behavior and that she had acted in self-defense. "Miss Karen, I can't believe what you've done," my mother said, her voice shaking with anger. "You attacked my daughter in front of her classmates and expect us to just brush it off? How could you do something so reprehensible?" "I'm sorry, Mrs. Rodriguez," Karen said, her voice dripping with insincerity. "But your daughter deserved it." At this point, my mother's eyes are blazing with fury. She raised her hand and slapped Karen across the face, the sound echoing through the office. "You have caused my daughter a great deal of pain and trauma. I will not rest until you are held accountable for your actions." Karen was shocked and stunned by the slap, and she stared at my mother in disbelief. The principal stepped in to calm the situation, but my mother was beyond reasoning. She was a woman with influence in our community and was used to getting her way. She was determined to see justice done for the attack on me. "Mrs. Rodriguez, please calm down," the principal said, trying to intervene. "We understand that you are upset, but violence is not the answer. This woman attacked my daughter and you expect me to stay calm?" my mother said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "I will not stand for this kind of behavior in our school. I demand that she be arrested and charged with assault. The school administration immediately launched an investigation, and Karen was suspended from her teaching duties and faced disciplinary action. The incident caused a great deal of outrage in the community, and Karen was eventually fired from her job. She was also sentenced to probation and community service for her attack on me. I was relieved that justice had been served in. I was grateful to my parents for their support. However, my parents were not satisfied with the outcome of the criminal case and wanted to pursue a civil law against Karen. They believed that Karen needed to be held accountable for the emotional damage that she had caused me, and they wanted to seek compensation for my medical bills and therapy costs. Maria, we need to hold this woman accountable for what she's done, my father said, his voice grave. She can't just get away with attacking you like that. We need to sue her for emotional damage and get you the help that you need. I don't know, Dad, I said, feeling torn. I don't want to ruin her life any more than we already have. She's already lost her job and her reputation. Do we really need to go through with a lawsuit? She needs to pay for what she's done, Maria, my mother said, her voice firm. We can't just let her get away with this. It is not fair to you or to any other students who might fall victim to that kind of behavior from any other teacher out there. We ultimately decided to pursue the civil lawsuit, and Karen was ordered to pay a significant sum in damages. It was a small victory, but it brought some closure to the incident. Despite everything that had happened, I remained determined to succeed in my studies and to make something of myself. I knew that I had the strength and resilience to overcome this difficult situation and to achieve my goals. The end. I work as a driver instructor in our business's booked out for months. So many hours in a day with so many kids needing to learn how to drive. So the company, as an incentive for the students to keep their appointments, will slap $25 extra fee if you don't give prior notice of 48 hours if you can't keep the time. You don't get completion certificate until that's paid. Well, I showed up at this student's house and he has one of the smart doorbells. I ring it and he comes to the door. I ask for his paperwork and permit to drive and then he's like, "Oh, be right back." This is where it gets interesting, because the way the system works is that one student drives their allotted time and we pick up the next and the student drives the other student home. I have the student sitting in the back seat waiting for him to come back out so we can get her home. 10 minutes have gone by. And let me tell you, parents can get pretty upset when they don't know where their kid is. I go ring this smart bell again. A voice comes over it. "Can I help you?" "Yeah, I'm here for X. He went inside and hasn't come back yet." The doorbell voice says, "No one's home." Now I know it's no use arguing with the doorbell and I have another student who needs to get home. "Oh, okay. You will have to reschedule then. Please contact the office and set up a time. I will leave our card." Our card in big bold letters states, "Sorry we missed you. Fee of $25 now applies per school contracts." I mark it down on the paperwork as a no-show and leave watching the kid through the window. Luckily, when I got the other student home, I was able to personally apologize for having their kid back home so late. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.